Angeles Lakers, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James, there are so many questions. Primarily health. Is this team going to be able to stay healthy? Is Anthony Davis going to be able to play at an MVP level? Is LeBron James going to stay LeBron James, or are we going to start to see some sort of decline? And then, of course, the biggest question mark, Russell Westbrook. Is he going to buy in? Is he going to be able to fit in with this team and play to an effective manner in order to actually make a big three, right? Are they going to be able to finally figure it out and make it work? Now, I think that this team has a ton of potential, and I think that it is going to start with these three. I think at the end of the day, regardless, the burden is on LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I think we go as far as those two take us. But if Russell Westbrook can become a legit third option, a third guy on this team, but in a more effective, efficient manner, then I think that we could be extremely scary with the team that we have. And Russell Westbrook reiterated this himself. He was recently doing an interview with Adrian Wojnarowski. Some of that stuff got put out. Well, I wanted to talk about a few things specifically that Russell Westbrook said. And here's the first thing. He said there is so much optimism on how we can be great. How AD, LeBron, myself can be unstoppable, in my opinion. That's what Russell Westbrook said. He later continued to the I'm all in, whatever it takes for this team to win. I'm prepared for whatever comes my way in regards to potentially coming off the bench, things like that he's willing to commit. He's ready to go, and he's really shown those signs. He's really shown that, hey, look, I've gone to all the pressers, right? Me and Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham's relayed all of the stuff that we've talked about and what he expects from me, and I'm willing to commit and do that. He's in a contract year. He wants to get a new contract next year, whether it's, another team, the Lakers. I doubt it's the Lakers, but the idea is whatever I got to do in order to be a guy that shows like, hey, I can be a chameleon, like I can do whatever it takes to fit with this team. So imagine what I could do with your team. That is a big thing. And then this was another thing he said, I need to just do my job. Whether I'm wanted or not doesn't really matter. I think the most important thing is that I show up to work and I do my job like I've always done it. Be professional and go out and play my ass off and compete. This is what he was relaying in regards to, being wanted by the Lakers, fandom, stuff like that. He doesn't care. Look, I'm here to do a job. I'm here to do what is asked of me. I'm here to do whatever it takes. And look, it's nice to say those things. It's nice to hear those things from Russell Westbrook, but actions speak louder than words, right? You could say whatever you want. But what are you doing on the basketball court? They got guys like Dennis Schroeder that can come in and take over for him if he's not doing what's asked to him, right? Now he's got pressure. Now he's got somebody that would love to have his starting job, that would love to have him, be a guy that messes up so they can get more playing time. And I do think Russell Westbrook starts. I do think they try to get these three to work, to try to figure it out. And I do think Russell Westbrook is right to an extent. I don't know about unstoppable, but I think this team could be very, very good if they can figure it out. If Russell Westbrook can just be a 15-5-5 or even better, an 18-7-7 guy like he was last year, but more effectively, more efficiently, I think that'd be great. If he could be a guy that'll set the screens, do the pick and roll, which was huge for us last year. And for whatever reason, whether it was Russ, whether it was Vogel, whether it was a combination, they just completely went away from it for months. And they did it like 9 times and scored 8 of the 9 times. It literally was an unstoppable play for them because teams didn't know how to prevent it, how to stop it. You look at Russ with the Houston Rockets, where he became a slasher, a cutter, and Harden was able to feed him the rock, and he was really effective, right? Imagine what you could do with a LeBron James or an Anthony Davis or things like that. I do imagine Darvin Ham's going to put him in various positions. Now, would he be great coming off the bench? Absolutely. I mean, he would be a super 6-man. I believe if he embraced the 6-man role, he would legitimately be probably 6-man of the year. He is that good still, that gifted, that talented. You wouldn't have to worry about LeBron and Anthony Davis. Problem is he's being paid $47 million, and you want the big three to work it out. And would he really ultimately accept that role? It's one thing to say it, another thing when you're actually sitting on the bench and that ends up happening. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if they experiment with him as the sixth man from time to time, but I do think to start the season, he likely starts for this team. I really do. I think that, one, you want to get these 3 minutes. You want to see what you can do, what you can create with these 3, and can they really work? Is there a way to figure that out? And you want to figure it out fast. But I do think even if he does start, Russ, for the most part, operates as the sixth man. So he gets the start for his ego and his name and stuff like that. But really, he's running 90% of the time with the bench units. And I do believe if you let Russ be Russ, you know what you're going to get from him. You're going to get a guy that is going to get you damn near a triple-double every night. And if he's operating as the sixth man, that is huge. There is no other sixth man in the league that is going to be able to do something like that. You give him minutes, ample minutes, I think he can be good. If you give him like 5-minute increments throughout the game for, say 15 minutes total, and then you have another 7 to 8 minutes with him, Davis, and LeBron, I really think we could see 18 to 20 point a game Russell Westbrook with, 7 to 10 rebounds and assists. I really do. Because if you allow him to operate as Russell Westbrook, I think it could work. I know people think that there's no way this could work, this, that, and the other. But having him come in, be exactly what he was supposed to be, you know what you're getting with Russell Westbrook. You're getting a high energy, high usage, like up and down, let's get to work type player. A guy that's going to bring it every single night, give you 100%. You know he's not a good shooter, but you know that he could still score, he could still drop dimes, he could still rebound for a guard. He's going to do a lot of stuff. Capitalize on his strengths. Utilize his strengths. Allow him to just be embraced and accepted in whatever role you put him in. And that likely means LeBron is not on the court. Now, could you do some sets and some lineups where you do run LeBron with him? Yeah. LeBron wants to play off the ball more. He's improved on his shot a lot. You could have some moments like that, things like that. But to run it for, 30 minutes a game, I don't think that happens, right? But if you have, again, like 7 to 10 minutes a game where these 3 are together, so that way they have time throughout the season to try to figure it out and see if there's a way to kind of have all 3 of them on the court more regularly, then you do that. But for the most part, I think a lot of the games are just going to be rest. If you always have a Russell Westbrook or LeBron James on the court, either or, I think the Lakers will be in a great position because you'll always have that guy that can put the ball on the hoop. And I know the whole teams pack the paint, teams do this, do whatever. They've been trying to do that since he came in the league, and he's still been able to score. He's still been able to go get buckets. He's still been able to do things. He still has been a guy. A lot of people, I feel like, have recency bias towards Russell Westbrook because he was so bad last year. But it wasn't just him. LeBron wasn't great either. I mean, yeah, he scored a bunch of points, but he became basically a jump shooter from the three-point range. How many games did we see where we were down maybe 5 points and LeBron, instead of just doing what LeBron had always done and just taking over games, he just didn't. Or he just settled for 30-foot jumpers. Things like that, instead of putting his head down and getting to the hoop. How many times did he turn the ball over and the conversation was, hey, why are you trying? And he's like, I know I need to protect the ball better. And then the next game has 7 turnovers and stuff. Russ averaged 4 turnovers a game and LeBron averaged 3.5. They weren't that far off from each other as far as turnovers. It was just a bad year in general from, the coaching staff. Frank Vogel just seemed like he didn't have a clue what to do with that team. They were old. They weren't good defensively. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. Nobody really understood their roles. Nobody really knew what they were doing. We had different lineups every night. We had LeBron James starting at center, Carmelo Anthony playing center. It was a bad year. This is a new year. with a new coach, a new play style, a new culture, a new system, a guy that is holding people accountable, a guy that has the backing of the front office, which is huge because now he is in position to hold LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook accountable. Frank Vogel didn't really have that. You have new players. We're younger. We were like number one in pacing last year. We're good. What do you think we're going to be this year, right? Especially with all the young guys we have. We were number one in pacing with all the old guys. Now we're going to be great as far as fast breaks go and just, catching it off the rim. We have so many points of attack. We have the potential to be good. I don't think offense is going to be a problem for us. We scored 114 points a game last year. I think we get at least that this year, if not more. We'll be fine on the offensive end. It's defensively. Can we defensively stop other people? We got bigger down low, which is great. Anthony Davis gets to play the 4 now, which is great, right? Not as much wear and tear, not as much bang. He's working with the lethal shooter. Last time he worked with the lethal shooter, he shot like 35% from 3. So there you go. Hopefully he gets back to that. LeBron is a much more improved shooter, so that helps. He's around 36% last year. I imagine that stays consistent. If not, hopefully it goes up a little bit this year. And so if those two guys can knock down the jump shots, knock down the 3, that's going to spread the floor, spread the paint. Plus a guy like Patrick Beverley who can shoot at 38%. Thomas Bryant, shoots league average for a big. That is huge. So you're going to have the shooting. You're going to have the floor spacing. They're not going to be able to leave those guys open. And Russ is going to be able to get to the point of attack. He's going to be able to get the rebound, get ahead of steam, and get to the hoop. He has to be better than he was last year at finishing. Because how many times did we see him just completely botch layups and was just atrocious, right? And then the turnovers, like going back to LeBron turning the ball over, at least most of LeBron's turnovers were dead ball turnovers, which means he just threw the ball out of bounds or, something along those lines, or it was a turnover that led to stoppage, whatever, right? Where Russ would turn the ball over in in-game turnovers, which would lead to fast breaks, which would be bad, right? No turnover is a good turnover, but there are such things as worse turnovers. And Russ's turnovers were worse. So if he can cut back on that, he can be better, he can finish better at the rim, and not just botch layups and stuff like that, I really think he could be good. You can do with the type of offense that Darvin Ham wants to run. There is a lot you could do with Russell Westbrook. You could even have him down low in the dunker spot and allow the offense to run through him to where he can make the play to either dish it out, or if it's one-on-one and he can beat his defender, boom, easy layup every time because the floor space, things like that, the help defense comes, he kicks it out. Like there's a lot that they could do with Russell Westbrook. Can these 3 figure it out is the biggest question. Can Russell Westbrook be better? He's saying all the right things, and that's great. That's what you want to hear. But what is his actions going to entail? So far, I think his actions have shown that has the willingness at least, and that he's open to it, which is good. He's showing up to all the pressers. He's there with Patrick Beverley. He could have easily said, F that guy, but no, he's there. He's laughing. He's, having a good time with Pat. They're working out together. He's trying to show, look, I'm a team player. Him and Darvin Ham are attached at the hip, and just relaying all the conversations they had and this, that, and the other. Like, everything looks good. But will it translate to the basketball games? If he buys into setting the picks, and they can run that pick and roll, that was hugely effective for them last year. Hugely. So get back to that. Don't just do it, a couple handful of times and then just don't do it again, especially when it's working. I don't think Darvin Ham's going to do that. I think Darvin Ham, if something's working, he's going to keep doing that until you figure it out. If I can score 10 out of 10 times on this and you can't figure it out, well then good. Then I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing it. So I do. I have faith in this team. Maybe I'm overly optimistic. Maybe I'm, just blind by fandom, whatever. My only thing is just we haven't seen these guys play. We haven't seen Russ given a chance yet, at least this season, because we haven't played this season yet. and he seems all bought in to Darvin Ham. He wasn't bought into Frank Vogel. He made that very clear that Frank Vogel did not like him. Frank Vogel did not want him to begin with. And Russ said he never got a fair shake, and he said that I was the only one being called out. Everyone else would mess up. He's like, I don't have a problem being called out, but why am I the only one being called out? Stuff like that. So Darvin Ham says he's going to call everyone out, and everyone's going to be held accountable. And you got guys like Patrick Beverley that'll hold other people accountable. This, that, and the other. Not just that, but Russell Westbrook has to show that he can do something. Otherwise, there is a real possibility he's out of the league. So I do imagine we see a different kind of Russ. And if he can become a different kind of Russ, if he can be our legit third guy, this team could be very, very good. Very good. I don't know about unstoppable, but I take my chances. If Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis figure it out, good luck beating the Lakers. Good luck. Because that would be a legit big three if healthy, and they legitimately figure it out. We don't need Russ to be all-star MVP Russell Westbrook. It'd be nice, but we don't need that. We need him to just give us, like I said, 15, 5, and 5 a night. Give us 15, 5, and 5 a night on like 45% shooting. That would be beautiful. That would be perfect. Let's do that. Keep it to like 3 or 4 turnovers a game, but don't have those big like 8 turnover games, stuff like that. Keep a modest turnover rate, because high usage, that's what players do. I mean, they all turn the ball over. James Harden, Chris Paul has his moments. Everybody. When you have the ball a lot, guess what? You're going to turn it over sometimes. It's all part of the game. But it's how often and what type of situations, things like that. There's a lot that go into that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think that, look, if Russ can figure it out, this team could be very scary? Do you think this team could be unstoppable? I think that's a very exaggerated word. We're not talking Kevin Durant on the Golden State Warriors unstoppable, but I do think that they would be very, very good. I think that they would have they would be legitimately, if they figure it out, they would legitimately have the best big three in the league. If they can figure it out. And don't get me wrong, it's a big if, but I have optimism, I have hope, I have faith. Let me know whether you do or not. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. Go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.